the strongest of the Egyptian gods, the winged dragon of Ra, known as the god of the sun and also called the hawk with the wings of the sun. The latest of the 3 Egyptian gods we got to know that was also introduced to us by Yugioh alongside Osiris and Obelisk. Every one of those gods represent the polarities of the universe. Obelisk represented light and dark, and Osiris represented good and evil, while Ra was representing heaven and earth. An interesting connection there is that real obelisks used to represent Ra's rays of light that connect the heaven to earth. Like the other 2 gods, Ra was also inspired by an ancient Egyptian god who goes by the same name but can also be called Re. The sun itself was believed to be a god instead of being something made by a god. So Ra would have been called the most important god of them all, since the sun is what gives life to earth. Ra was hailed as the son of the day, while Atum, the primordial Egyptian god, was hailed as the son of the evening. Ra had such a high standing being compared to the primordial god, and that's something we also saw in Yu-Gi-Oh! The pharaoh Atem, which is another way of saying Atum, has been compared with the sun god Ra, who shined with the light of hope, which ties greatly into the real ancient Egyptian connection. The pharaohs were also called the sons of Ra, which also shows how important that god was. During nighttime, the sun god Ra would go through the afterworld, thus letting darkness arise at night. Ra would resurrect during the morning, explaining not just the sunrise, but also why Yu-Gi-Oh's Ra was so closely connected to Monster Reborn all the time. This just goes to show how many thoughts were put into the Ra of Yu-Gi-Oh! And how many references you can pull from ancient Egyptian mythologies. But with that out of the way, let's get to the powers of the winged dragon of Ra. Ra was so special that its effects have been written in hieratic texts. Pegasus wasn't able to translate it over, which is why he copied the literal hieratic text onto that card. An interesting fact is that those hieratic texts won't show themselves before Ra gets summoned. The basic card just displayed question marks on it, but as soon as Ra's rays of sunlight would shine upon the card, the hieratic texts would become visible to read. Kaiba was able to read the texts on that card and translated us what exactly is written on it. The first power of Ra describes how Ra shall take power from 3 sacrifices, but it would only answer to those who speak the sacred words written on it, even if Ra likes the offerings it got. This represents Ra's Bakugan state whenever it gets summoned through 3 attributes. No matter who summons Ra that way, the only one who can understand and speak those hieratic texts is allowed to take control of the god. That was shown in the duel between Marek and Mai. The second power of Ra states that when the means of resurrection are granted to it, Ra shall come forth from the earth, and those who face the god in war shall be incinerated in flames. This represents the second effect that allows Ra to attack on the same turn as it was special summoned, which was not allowed in Battle City. This also includes the power to fuse yourself with Ra, giving the god attack and defense equal to your life points -1, and also to attack every monster your opponent controls. That, for example, has been shown in the duel between Marek and Bakura, where Marek demonstrated the infamous one-turn kill ability of Ra. The third power of Ra states that it shall become a phoenix in an instant, and that the enemies of Ra shall return to the earth. This represents Ra's Phoenix mode, which allows it to destroy every monster by simply paying 1000 of your life points. That had been shown at Marek's duel against Joey. Kaiba goes so far and calls the abilities of the sun god so terrifying that they surpass mortal thoughts. Ra was also the example for showing that disrespecting the gods can lead to death. Ra was the only god card with so many counterfeit copies, and whenever someone tried to use them, they would lose their minds, get crippled, or even die by doing that. And to end the power section, in ancient Egypt, Ra's presence was resembling the sun, turning nighttime into a bright day. And the god Phoenix mode did also exist, which would burn their enemies into nothing but ashes that would scatter in hell. That is everything which makes Ra the strongest of the Egyptian gods. But there's another interesting fact. In the Obelisk video, we talked about Obelisk having a true form in Obelisk the Progenitor, which was on a way higher power level since it transcended into the same hierarchy rank as Ra. That made him immune to anything below his hierarchy rank, which would be anything that isn't Ra or the evil gods. But it seems like the same could go for Ra. The main difference between Obelisk the Tormentor and Obelisk the Progenitor was the design differences. the ancient Egyptian version being the progenitor. If we look at a side-by-side comparison of Ra from ancient Egypt and the current time Ra, we can see some clear differences, especially in the face. While the current Ra looks the way we all know it, the ancient Egyptian one kinda looks like a cyber chicken. And beyond that, their phoenix modes also look different. The current Phoenix Ra has a lot of swirly patterns going around it, while the ancient Egyptian Phoenix Ra is more clean with the flames. If we apply the same logic here as with Obelisk, that would mean that this ancient Egyptian Ra should be on an even higher hierarchy rank that surpasses anything we have seen before. And I think that would really fit to the strongest Egyptian god. And that shall be it for this video. Ra was exactly like Osiris and Obelisk, a god that supported the pharaoh in ancient Egypt and was sealed into a stone slab. Pegasus finds some remnants about Ra which he couldn't decipher, thus just copying the hieratic texts onto the card he made. Because he couldn't dare to destroy the Egyptian god cards, he let them get sealed in Egypt. That is how Marek got his hands on Ra, which he held on to until he got defeated and gave it to the pharaoh. After Atem lost to Yugi, he left the current world and the god cards have not been found since. And a little fun fact, while Atem used all god cards at the same time against Yugi in the anime, he never used Ra once in a duel if we go by the manga, which is an interesting thing to think about. Anyways, that's it for me, thank you all for watching, I hope I could teach you something new about Ra and that everything was understandable enough. Leave a like if that was the case and don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss out on any interesting Yu-Gi-Oh content in future. Thank you for watching, have a great day and we will see us on my next video. Bye!